Hi, I'm Mike Hamilton. This is NewsJacker. Starting off, I want to go through the results of a poll that we took on Twitter. As you know, we put out the daily IT security news blast. It's been going for almost 10 years. We polled the Twitter community on exactly what kind of articles we'd want to see in there. So here's how it came up, and we're going to have the composition of the news blast reflect this as well as we can. So 36% technical and vulnerability issues, 29% nation state espionage, 21% vertical sectors, for example, health, government, 14% privacy and surveillance. So again, we're going to do our best to make the composition of the blast reflect exactly what people want to see. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about security. And what I've talked about before is that organized crime, insiders, unsophisticated criminals of opportunity, hacktivists, those have really been the main problems. Now it's being collateral damage by nation state actions. This has happened before. The WannaCry attack was North Korea. The NotPetya attack was Russia poking the economy of Ukraine. Everybody on the side of that went down. So it's important that we talk about nation state things. The United States just violated the Iran agreement, and this is likely to result in an uptick. Simultaneously, brand new news story, what we're seeing is there is a piece of malware called Trisis, and it is inside of industrial control system operations in the operational technology, just announced by the FBI. Not sure who's behind this, but this kind of thing is likely to start happening more. Interestingly, all this happened about the same time that the White House fired the cybersecurity coordinator. Not sure why that was done exactly at this timing. Seems to be rolling out the red carpet for election chicanery. We're going to have to see. Lastly on security, this company ZTE, back in business after going around North Korea and Iranian sanctions. We sanctioned the company, cut off their supply chain. All of a sudden, no, we're not going to sanction the company as a result of an executive order. Don't know why that happened. It is coincidental that it is right about the same time as a $500 million investment by the Chinese into an amusement park that's right next to a hotel owned by the president. Correlation or causality? Market forces. So market forces have been something that I've talked about a lot, and these are starting to emerge more and more routinely. So here's an opportunity right now, if you're in the health sector, to comment on the security standards for medical devices that the National Institute of Standards and Technology are soliciting right now. Those comments are important. So if you want to see some kind of UL listing on medical devices that say they have been tested against a security standard and shown to be free of known security flaw, now's your chance to get into those comments. Google is now requiring, finally, makers of Android phones to patch regularly. Why this was never done previously, nobody knows. But if you have an Android device, you know that patching is all over the place. Everybody's security is different on these phones. Google is now trying to impose some consistency there so that, again, as a consumer, you have some kind of guarantee that things are being taken care of. Finally, in the United Kingdom, businesses are starting to claim that GDPR compliance, which happened last week, was the deadline, are creating a competitive advantage for them. So again, another case where companies are saying, hey, we're compliant with your expectation of privacy, so buy from us rather than our competitors who don't address this. Again, that's a good sign. All right, let's talk about privacy. iOS 11.4 is coming out and theoretically will resist cracking by the devices that are being sold to law enforcement specifically to penetrate phones. Apple continues to show us that they are the best friend of privacy and security based on moves that they make like this. This is not making any friends with law enforcement, but Apple, you're making a friend of me. In addition, there's a company called Securus. Securus was tracking phone data and making the data available using an unauthenticated website that allowed you to track the location of any phone number and as it moved around. Very interesting. I'm sure they got a lot of bad optics out of that once the story hit. But to add insult to injury, a hacker breached the Securus company, and was able to steal lots and lots of passwords of many, many law enforcement officers. This shows you how policy needs to precede the use of technology. We're doing it backwards. Finally, I think you read the story about how a deceased person's fingerprint was used to unlock an iPhone. Wow, that's creepy. But if that's not bad enough, we have the Golden State Killer and how law enforcement has gone to the companies that do DNA analysis and provided a DNA sample, had that family tree uncovered, and then used that to finally find the killer. Well, that has happened again. And this time it happened in our neighborhood, and the detectives in Skagit and Snohomish counties have used exactly the same technique. So we need to start asking questions about this. I think privacy is going in the wrong direction. Hopefully GDPR is going to show Americans that having the ability to say, remove everything you know about me from a commercial service is a good thing. We'll find out. Finally, an interesting article that I'll just throw at you. Time to ditch your DIY security and use managed services firms. That'll make your life easier. We believe this. This is why we're in business. Security practitioners are in short supply, they're very expensive, and they're very difficult to retain because Amazon is waving around giant bags of cash. A company like ours came up exactly for that reason. So take a look at the economics around this. Managed detection and response is your friend. Thanks. I'm Mike Hamilton. This is NewsJacker.